Alright guys, so pretty much today I'm gonna be, pretty much just kind of showcasing how not only I would approach situations and like my overall battle experience, what I think works for me, and honestly how I think every player should approach the game, especially any free-to-play players. But honestly, just overall in general, is how you should approach any game in general. And it kind of actually ties into another video I have on my other channel, um, which covers these three words, which is probably honestly the most important thing. Not just any gamer, but honestly anything that anyone should take in as far as advice. And what I mean by three words, I mean synergy, value, and patience. And the reason why I only bring these three up is because these are the three things that interconnect everything that you could possibly need to, I guess, pull you forward in progress towards anything, whether it's goals or relationships or anything. I mean, right now we're just talking about this specific game. So what I mean by synergy, I mean like your equipment. You know, what works with what? Does it boost or, in a sense, enhance your gameplay or your equipment? For example, let's say this Raptor. Does this pilot? If I was thinking about getting the best equipment for said robot, what would I think bring the most, not just value, but bring the most synergy to the Raptor? So this pilot, as you see, it deals damage and also applies an EMP effect to enemies. So in other words, it neutralizes their abilities for just a little bit. And then same thing with pilot skills, it's something you have to take in mind. While of course, obviously, if you don't have enough resources to change them, that's fine. But when you do start changing them, you want to have something that synergizes more with the robot and its function. And of course, bringing more value out of it too. So like these skills right here, these honestly aren't necessarily that valuable. Definitely don't really synergize with the Raptor well. It's not really meant to be a fast robot. It's just something to be used more so as a brawler, or at least like a beacon guardian, beacon defender, if you play a lot of beacon rush. And then another thing, like this drone here, the wideout also does an EMP. While I would say the synergy goes well, if anything, it kind of actually defeats the purpose. The pilot already has an EMP. Of course, if this is the only drone that's available, then use it. Like if it's the only thing that's decently leveled, which is of course why, as you can see, I have it on here, because the other drones are the basic level. So I'm not saying it can't synergize. I mean, 2 EMPs at different times can certainly be really effective, but I think there could be something that could bring more value out of it. What I'm saying is there's already a use for the other EMP, and there's not really another necessary need for the whiteout. So just stuff like that you should think about. And of course, when it comes to that, you have to think about all the equipment too, like the modules, what would fit best for the Raptor. As I said, most of the times, Raptor is best suited as a brawler. You shouldn't really be going for attack or defense, mainly because, as you can see, especially if you don't have them leveled or maxed out, it's not going to really prove too much of any value. And honestly, it's just better to have the brawler, because it functions well with the Raptor's overall really great durability. It's health pool in a sense, and then adding the defensive points in the last stand is very helpful, very useful. As I said, when it comes to value, it just means how much useful or utility does a certain equipment have, how much can you get out of it when it comes to like getting kills or beacons, stuff like that, or just overall, how long can it last, how long can it distract the enemy team, You have to think about it in all these different type of factors. So that's my take on that. And another example, like for Lynx, for example, this is probably the greatest synergy that I've had in this hangar as far as equipment goes. This moderating drone has on deployment speed, so it boosts its speed, and it's already quite a fast robot. The Lynx is a stealth assassin slash beacon runner type of robot, so it's very useful. It synergizes really great with this. The machine gun is useful too, of course. 800-meter range. There's just an added bonus. And of course, while it might not be leveled up, there's these other things to look to as well, like the lockdown mechanism, the additional damage, which is, of course, again, really great, very useful. The hammers, great synergy. The blast charge allows the Lynx to deal with high resistance level enemies, at least somewhat decently well, paired up with its executioner ability, which pretty much ignores defense, because it goes based off of percentage, so that's very useful, kind of ties in with that. And the pilot, Quantum Rainer, very useful, has great utility. As you can see, I recently changed the pilot skills and upgraded some of them. I would say these have great synergy. Scout and Spy gives it so much extra speed. Defense Expert, pretty useful as well, just in case if we're seen within our ability, like if someone has quantum sensor or whatever, at least we have extra defense to help us out during our shield breaker or whatever it is. So yeah, just things like that to think about, whether it's pilot skills, the weapons, pilot itself, the drones, of course. You have to think about all the different factors on how they're going to factor into the robot, how they're going to, what are they going to bring out the most value of said robot for its purpose? Are they going to synergize with it well? You don't want to have conflicting equipment where it might slow your robot down even though it's supposed to be really fast, or it gets rid of all of its durability even though it's supposed to be a really tanky robot, something like that. Not saying you can't do trade-offs, of course, but you don't want it to get to the point where it necessarily nerfs said robot or equipment in its function. And of course, like I said, this is for free-to-play players as well, so obviously if you don't have the best type of equipment, that's completely fine. If it's not level, that's fine. In all I'm trying to say, in other words, you just want to use to the best of the abilities, the best that you can. Use what's in your hand. Use the cards that's in your hand. Play with what you're dealt with to the best of your ability, and synergize it enough to the point where it just works for you, where you're able to get used to it. So that's just my thoughts on this. That's my advice. And then of course, lastly, the reason why I also brought up Patience as the third, not tribute, as the third term is, well, for quite obvious reasons, not just for being free to play, but overall it's always going to be a long time. It takes a long time regardless to get equipment, to upgrade said equipment, to enhance it, so yeah, that's where the patience comes in. You have to pretty much build your own budget, not just like in real life, but in games too. Yes, I know how absolutely scary and boring you have to do budgets in video games too. You can't escape it, alright? Just like taxes. Heck, technically there's taxes within this game as well. Regardless though, yeah, this is something that I think you guys would definitely be, or should take in. I think it's very helpful info. Definitely something to utilize when going into battles or just overall games. It doesn't even matter just about this game, just gaming in general. You should take those three words into account: synergy, value, and patience, because they will take you pretty far, pretty far. If you have the patience to save up resources, wait for discount days, wait for upgrade tokens, wait for clan tasks, whatever it is to get by and to enhance your play style even more, you'll be thankful for it. You won't thank yourself for it. A lot of players have this issue of just spending, and I don't just mean real money. I just mean their resources as well. They cannot wait a single day to not upgrade something or to not use their resources all the way. They have to just upgrade, use, and then they wonder why and complain that they can't, get anywhere fast because they're always using it on stuff that either gets nerfed, stuff that won't bring them value, stuff that will later on, not be as useful or synergized, and then you wasting their resources across multiple hangars that they probably won't even use. So, yeah, that's something to take into account. You have to, unfortunately, be really patient, especially when, very pay-to-win games like this. You have to be extra patient, extra cautious, extra careful, extra aware of all the resources available. You have to be smart with it. You have to play smart with your hand, and then, yeah, that's basically about it. Now, I'm going to show you guys pretty much how to put this also into practice when it comes to battle itself, because there's many ways to take this into account even in battle. I mean, patience definitely being one of them. So I'm gonna tell you guys usually pretty much the thought process of my day-to-day strategy when it comes to domination and beacon rush. So first off, you want to, of course, check and see whatever the heck is on the field. Check for any Aegis shielded robots. We're going to go ahead and use our stealth to get in the cover. Check, who's in stealth. If they have any extra effects. You could kind of assume or tell which robot is what by what effects they have. If they're shielded, like this Aegis robot over here. If they have a bubble or stealth, like this guy. I kind of already assumed it was Crisis. So we're going to go ahead and go on stealth. So obviously just by judging by the fact that this guy has a lockdown death mark effect on him, we're going to go into phase shift right here, wait for our ability. So that can tell us that there's a Pathfinder on the enemy team because our teammate got locked on or trapped. And that's the correct term, it's trapped. So they have no teammates on this side. We have no teammates on that side, but our enemy has no teammates on this side. We're going to grab this beacon real quick. We're going to stay close to this cover here, just in case they try to go around the corner. Wait for our phase shift in case there's any teleporting robots. We're going to use our mothership, a very offensive mothership, not defensive. We got locked down there. We're going to use it on that guy, the Aegis shielded robot. We're going to stealth. Okay, well, something happened there. I guess he saw some stealth, so yeah. Again, don't expect to be, foolproof. It's not a foolproof game. And it's just to help as much as possible. As you see, you can literally tell all the damage we did to that robot over there. We did quite an amount of damage. Yes, it looks like that is a Dagon. So I was very correct in my assumption. Whenever usually I see Aegis robots, most of the time, from my experience, they tend to be Dagons or Typhoons. Which is why I target them with the mothership, of course. I'm going to jump here, going to EMP him. And we got locked down and tracked, so we are going to lose our last stand, probably the whole robot. We're going to want to make sure we just stay on our beacons as much as possible. Not sure what our teammates are doing over here at the start of the base. I'm not sure why they're not going for that beacon. I'm going to try to see if he has a, the stealth module just like us as well. We want to make sure we bait him into, getting that muse. So that way he doesn't have it for use later. Alright, they got that beacon, so they're not as dumb as my random teammates usually are. This guy pretty much is a similar build to us, so that's quite coincidence. We're able to capture this beacon. Let's try to teleport back to our portal if we can instead of dying. We're going to use our module here. Okay, we got a kill. We got the beacon, so that's great. Our Titan is charged. We're going to go in and go in with the Skyro slow. just because it's a much greater beacon runner than Ninjago, obviously. And we're gonna want to avoid this guy. He probably does a lot of damage to us. You can just see he just pretty much baited our stealth. Yeah, just not really not given the best situation here. Just from our teammates not really doing what they're supposed to be doing. So like I said, we're gonna stay in cover here. We're gonna capture this beacon. We're gonna see, you know, look around. Who's shielded? Who has a force field? Who's in stealth? We're gonna get this guy again. We should be able to kill him with the mothership, as you can see. Awesome. Okay. And there's other things, like I said, when it comes to value. If you were to take out an enemy from the enemy team, which one would bring up the most value? And I would say the Pathfinder for sure, because that's probably one of the greatest support robots for the enemy team right now. Where like this Titan, we're gonna lock him down, which is probably doing a lot of damage to our teammates. So yeah, we want to get rid of him. We want to go ahead and, if we still have time, it looks like this guy's getting that beacon, so that's awesome. Also noticing, I'm not really sure what happened to, I think we might have been down 1 or 2 players. So that's unfortunate, like I said. We weren't really given the best of cards. Just trying to play to the best of our ability. This guy might be hacking, or he might have the, not the Beholder, the, what's it called? It's a new mothership that I have on my other account as well. But it's only supposed to last 10 seconds, so anything more than that is, I would say this is pretty suspicious. Because the in-game info on that mothership, it only lasts 10 seconds, the speed and damage boost. Alright, not too bad. We got 5 beacons. We could definitely do better. That probably wasn't the best showcase, definitely. Had much better games, but like I said, you're not always going to have great games. You're going to have, you know, pretty trash games sometimes. You just want to make sure you use the info that I'm giving you correctly to at least upgrade your own playstyle regardless of the in-game environment. So we're going to go ahead and get into this next game and try to follow up on the advice even more so. So yeah, always just take into consideration, you know, if I was to take out so-and-so out of the enemy team, what value would it bring? Are they supporting Titans, or are they supporting other robots like the new Leos? That's definitely something you would want to take out. But not saying that you should, of course, you know, you don't want to focus them early on in the game. Because, you know, you'll pretty much be, you'll become a target yourself. So we're going to go ahead and go behind cover here. That teammate was too fast for us to capture the beacon. We're going to go down here, capture this beacon. Try to stay outside as much enemy fire as possible. Of course, there's still this guy shooting us, unfortunately. So our stealth activated. We're going to pretty much want to stay on this beacon. We're going to use our module. Alright, he's being smart. He's going back so that way we're out of range to fire at him. Unfortunately, he made the stupid decision of going into enemy territory too far, because now our teammates could get him and flank him from both sides, and he has no assistance, no support at all. So not the smartest play from him, but I'll give him credit. So we have currently 5 cap. That's great. One thing I would most certainly suggest, never try to always go for all beacons unless you see the opportunity. The most smartest way you could play and win games, get what you need and try to keep it that way. What I mean by that is, if all you need is 3 beacons to win, that's all you need to aim for. If you want 4 beacons, it's fine, but don't go bumming in and then, you know, end up getting surprised by your enemies taking your home beacon or whatever. So we're gonna stay on this beacon. We're gonna kind of, you know, try to trick him up a little bit while he gets shot by our teammate in the back. And we're kind of, you know, just gonna mess around with him, try to push him off. Alright, our teammates are getting, or our enemies are getting some beacons, so we have no teammates here. Our again, our teammates not sure what they're doing. This is not team deathmatch. As always, something to definitely expect within this game. We're going to super jump onto this beacon because for some reason our teammates are just too dumb and unaware to do so. So, you can see this guy's at half health. I'm assuming that is the cherry from earlier. This guy's shooting us over there. He's at half health. We'll go ahead and shoot him. The mothership. Awesome. We got rid of him. We're going to stay in cover. We're going to try to, use the cover as much to the best of our abilities. We're going to shoot this guy with some rust. Make sure he doesn't really heal as much because he's the support titan. And he's shooting us with the turret. So we're going to super jump up here. Trying to EMP this enemy from using his ability. It looks like he's EMP'd. Awesome. We got the kill. Gonna grab this beacon. Gonna, pay attention to the enemies. Where are they at? There's a guy with stealth up top, so he's on the beacon right now. This guy's over here. I'm gonna hit him with some rust. We might super jump over here because our teammates aren't paying attention. There's a Loki and a Skyros. We're gonna get a robot. That's fine. We're gonna try to capture any other beacons because our teammates, unfortunately, still aren't paying attention. As long as we have 2 beacons, that should be fine, because our beacon bar lead is high enough to do so. Alright, we're going to use phase shift because we just got hit on a mothership. Let's see, we don't want to hit the Condor because he could use his ability. Looks like they're dealing with him anyways. We're going to go ahead. We're going to hit this guy. Since we can see him himself, we're going to hit him with the mothership. Awesome, looks like someone already got him with that. Wow, 2 of them at the same time. We go and cover. This guy is going to go into Transcendence because we're hitting him with a lot of high firepower. Maybe we can grab the beacon from him. If our ability lasts long enough, we can use phase shift. Not really sure. We'll see. Our stealth activated as well. We weren't able to capture it. We at least did get it to white. So that's something. We're going to go into immunity because it's a very fast robot. We're going to make sure this guy does not try to get our beacon. Alright, our stealth was activated. We'll get this guy. I think he's running the Goss for the small trigger element. We'll go some lag. Alright, so we got him. We're going to go ahead and we're going to stay on this beacon. It looks like there's a guy in stealth right here. I'm going to shoot him. Hopefully his reload is long enough for us not to die, pretty much. Alright, I'm going to hit him with the mothership. That should be able to take him out. I'm going to shoot this guy's shield. Yep, kind of saw him coming. It's going to teleport that, as usual. We may lose this game mainly because our teammates are not capturing beacons at all. We cannot stay on this beacon forever. But when it comes to the game, you want to stay on your important beacons as long as possible. It's up to your teammates to get the other beacons, because if they capture this beacon, then obviously, the game is faster. It's over faster. So, yeah, unfortunately, there goes that. We are going to lose this game, unfortunately. This is something to expect. Can't really do much here except spawn the Titan and get more honor points. And, yeah, that will be it for that game. We're going to, of course, do a third game. I always try to do 3 games, at least 3 to 4 games every day, just to earn us some extra resources and, to complete whatever task you may have. And then, of course, yes, as you can see, stuff like this, the Master Crate, getting those extra resources, getting our honor points, our clan tasks and stuff, and of course our operations as well. So we can get us another data pad. It's going to get us some resources, or at least a booster. still useful. I'll take it. And let's check up how much we have right now. So we have 15,000 left. 5 days, we can easily obtain that. So, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the next game. Hopefully our environment is better. We have better teammates. Maybe a more closed-in map. In my experience, from what I've noticed, I perform a lot better and on a much higher level when it comes to closed-in maps. Of course, obviously, because mainly it's not a sniper's or camper's paradise. You know how you have more tools to utilize. You get to utilize the playground in a sense, or the battleground to your hand. You get to stay in cover more. It allows you to recharge more overall. And then if you have faster robots, you can cover greater distance in a shorter time. Allows you to get better beacons. So yeah, we're gonna go with our Skyros right now. I'm gonna pay attention. Let's see. Now, another thing, of course, you want to pay attention to. What are they from, or what are they in? Any high-level league clans? Any duos or squads running? You want to always, of course, pay attention to the name tags too. So we obviously have a Pathfinder on the enemy team. It's right there. I think there might be 2 of them. So it's something to take note of. So when we get our mothership charge, we're gonna want to hit them specifically. I always specifically target them because they're the worst, and they're the things that are supporting our enemies the most. So we're gonna hit them there, and we're gonna stay behind cover right here. Now we're gonna let our stealth get activated if it does, just so that way we have. Oh, looks like we got him. Got Pathfinder. Just so that way we have enough time to get to this beacon, and we already have our next mothership. I'm assuming we had a second Pathfinder on the enemy team. Not sure if the teammates got him. Alright, there's 2 Samjocks, Achikochi. Alright, we activated our stealth. Let's see who's over there. I'm gonna get that guy because the Scorpions are very annoying to deal with. Especially if we only just teleport back instantly. Definitely don't want our teammates getting hurt by that. So we got rid of him. We're going to stay on this beacon for the longest that we can. We're going to try to stay in cover. It forces our enemies to gather around, which distracts them from, getting the under beacons. Then we use up our shield. Alright, we're going to go ahead with our links and just see what's up. Try to stay on the beacons that we need as long as possible. And that guy looks like he's done. He's going to capture that beacon. He's in the YGBR, a very high level clan. So definitely a teammate that would be very useful. And this guy, haven't really heard of that clan. I think there's about the MU clan, definitely seen them before. We're gonna go use our ability. We're gonna stay right about here, just so that way we're kind of out of reach of his line of sight. I'm gonna let our stealth get activated, and so that way we can capture the beacon. We're gonna use our stealth ability just to prolong the beacon. I'm gonna use phase shift, trying to push him off. Gonna go back into our stealth, and now we have our mothership. As you can see, we prolonged it a lot. We're gonna use the mothership on the guy with the force field. All right, and he has already used now probably about 2 dashes, 2 death marks. So something you want to take note of. If we had any allied titans, they might have been able to destroy him there. If we pay attention. Unfortunately, it looks like it's too late. Our enemy is forecapping us, so we're gonna wanna get onto the beacons. Alright, we have a Demeter here that's staying within his shield. We have an Indra over there, definitely something to take note of. I'm gonna wanna capture other beacons. Alright, this guy is coming here. I'm gonna put on Reflector because you're taking quite an amount of damage. Let's take this guy out. I'm gonna try and cover. I'm gonna go ahead and jump at him, try to suppress him, and also land on the beacon. Alright, we got the beacon, we did what we need to do. We're probably gonna die right here. It's fine, as long as we have enough beacons. We're gonna use the Raptor. All their teammates, all the enemy teammates are on that side. Or mostly on that beacon. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna super jump with the Raptor. Well, okay, we tried. Okay, we're gonna jump again with the Raptor. Okay, we're gonna try a third time. Try to capture this beacon. And let's try to stay on it. We're going to EMP this Titan right here. Just try to stay on it as long as possible. Let's use the mothership. Let's see if we can lock him down. You know, try to kind of, you know, weave and dodge from his projectiles. Make it harder for him to aim at us. Stuff like that. EMP him. Adding rust. You know, all of these effects. Not sure what he's doing though. Maybe he's just ignoring us, or he might have crashed. Regardless, we are staying on this beacon for as long as possible. This guy probably crashed, I'm assuming some lag or just something. So I guess, you know, free damage for us, free mothership charge. Looks like he just recovered. Alright, that's gonna win us the game. I might do one more just to showcase, you know, to a better extent. I don't feel as though these games provided enough visual, or at least positive visual reinforcement. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into one last match just to showcase all the robots as well. I don't think we have been providing enough robots equal screen time as far as I'm concerned. So as I said, yeah, when it comes to stuff like this, you gotta be patient. And what I mean by patient, it doesn't always have to necessarily mean waiting for something, but also learning how and when to use certain things as well. Learning when to also rush, when to stay back, to be cautious, when to wait for your ability, how to use it, when to, you know, rush your ability, stuff like that. So when I mean by patience, I mean my timing, but I feel that patience is a better word for it. Alright, very open map. You know what robot would synergize great on this map and bring out the most value? Raptor. So we're going to super jump all the way to this side beacon. Still not sure why that's a thing. Pixel really has to fix these bugs. That's fine, no, we're getting the beacon regardless. Let's try to stay behind this little cover if we can. We're probably going to lose our pot here, but we did what we needed to do. There is an enemy approaching that beacon, so we're going to go ahead and try to get this guy off. He's smart, he's going into cover. So we're going to go ahead and try to, you know, see where he's going. Let's stay out of his line of fire. Try to get this guy. There's another enemy. All their teammates are back there. So not a smart choice on his decision. Alright, that teammate looks like he was trying to get that. We're gonna get this guy. We definitely want to take out this Ryuhi. Let's use the mothership on him. Let's go in this guy's shield because it might cover us for a little bit. Alright, we got him. I'm gonna go ahead with the Lynx. Very fast robot on an open field map. This guy has quantum sensor. Don't want to mess with that guy. Want to stay out of his line of fire, because even if we're going to stealth, he will see us. And if we are going to go in the open field, we want to be as fast as possible. This guy's at very low health. I'm quite certain we need to execute him. Possibly even from right here. I think that's the Shen Lao. I'm going to go. I'm going to go in the phase shift. Alright, we got him. Our stealth was activated, unfortunately. Alright, next we're gonna get the Kefri out. Let's see, who would gain the most value and synergy out of our boost? Because obviously we don't want to just boost any random teammate that might not give us any value at all. So we're gonna boost this Conrad. Gonna lock this guy down to help our teammate out. I'm gonna use the money strip on this guy in the center. We're gonna bait his ability and jump. Alright, I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to capture that beacon. Looks like a Scorpion. So we're gonna want to boost our teammate over there. I'm gonna want to get rid of this guy's blinding bubble by shooting at him. I want to get rid of that as fast as possible. We'll stay out of this turret line of fire. Let's heal our teammate. Try and heal it there. Guess not. Alright, and then next, we're going to go into our Skyros. As you can see, these teammates are smart. This Nuo or Neo's linking onto the Ravager, which is in stealth. Very deadly combo. Very good use of play. So let's avoid them for now. Instead, since half their team is on there, I'm going to go ahead and head for their home beacon, which doesn't really seem to be covered by anyone. Stealth is activated, so he is on the beacon. These are module. Alright, we were able to capture the beacon. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and head into our Titan. Alright, if I was to jump somewhere, where would it be to first? Which beacon will bring the most value, most energy? Well, if we're going by map standards, we're going to want this beacon over here because it's closest to every other beacon. This is like the far out beacon, so we want to avoid that. Also want to avoid these guys. These teammates are already getting that beacon though. So I guess for now, we can go ahead and get this far out beacon, mainly because there's also an enemy on there. Definitely don't want them turning that beacon red, at least not for long. I'm going to try to go in the cover. I'm going to use the mothership on this guy. So let's stay behind this line of cover. Let's try to knock down this guy's shield and get his bubble, his blinding bubble knocked out. Not sure if we're able to get that. I think we might have, or our teammate might have. Alright, we're going to jump back over here. Our teammate is getting the center beacon. I'm going to shoot this guy, try to bait his reflector, or his dash, any of his abilities. Doesn't seem to be a Mana build. He does have the Grom, but not the ultimate Grom. Alright, I'm going to want to jump out on that beacon in a bit. Our repair amp has kicked in, so we're going to go ahead and go down after this guy because all of our defensive stats have been maximized as far as right now. We have a serious support Titan over there. And Minos is going for our home beacon. It looks like there's only just two of us right now. It's definitely not fair play here. He has his reflector on. We're going to shoot at him after he goes down. Try to land on this beacon. Alright, looks like he went down. So unfortunately we did win this battle. Again, it's not always going to be under your control. You just want to deal your hand correctly to the best of your ability. Like I said, just because you took my advice does not guarantee you a win, but it will definitely guarantee you to be able to put out the maximum output of your robots and your hanger overall to the best of your ability. Again, controlling at least your own actions, because many players are too impulsive these days, not thinking how will one action logically affect the rest of their gameplay or the battle itself. And go ahead and collect this stuff. And again, like I said, when it comes to patience, time and time again I see players wondering how I have data pads, so many of them. Of course, again, saving up, being aware, being smart, looking on the web shop, being aware of all necessary resources available out there. Is there, any gift marathons? Is there any, Facebook giveaways? Is there any ads, any special ads with blue data pads? Is there, the web shop giving any free data pads this week? Or any thorium, anything like that? Even checking the operations, the event tasks, people forget this. I'm certain there's a number of players that don't even know that you're supposed to click on these. So if you don't, now you know. You are able to collect these as soon as you get enough points. You can use those on the correct days, as I just said. If you're patient enough to use them when the specific task comes up, like for example, opening up Titan data pad 0 out of 1. That's that's the day you want to open up one singular Titan data pad. So that's just my thoughts, my experience on this. Let me know if you guys have any advice, or if you have any of your own thoughts or opinions on not just the gameplay, but on how you would approach certain battlefields or situations. Or let me know how you think you can make it better, and what you think I can improve on, or what players in general could improve on. And overall, what build is your favorite? How would you build these robots differently? What weapon do you think best synergizes or values the robot the best? And yeah, if you like the video, like and subscribe, all that, casual stuff, gotta help a brother out, So yeah, that's gonna be it for now. I'll see y'all in the next tutorial, and yeah, peace out.